Okay, hello everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot if you've been here before. So today's reading is all about who has a crush on you. So we're going to be looking into who they are, finding out more about them, piecing the puzzle pieces together so that we can figure out who has a crush on you right now. And we can also ask a few extra questions about them around who they are, like how you'll meet, that sort of thing. But mostly today's reading is going to be about them, who they are, why they're interested in you, that kind of thing. So any sort of details we can get about this crush we'll dive into today's reading. Today's reading is a pick a pile tarot reading, and if you don't know how that works, I'll explain it to you now. Essentially, you want to pick the pile you feel most intuitively drawn to, either based on the energy of the pile, the crystal or object on top, the number of the pile, the number in the timestamps in the description box below, or the zodiac signs in the description box below as well. If you do like to pick your pile based on the crystal or object on top, I can get into those with you now. So for today's reading, we've got dried flowers as the object on top. And for pile 1, we have the card called the Gate, and we have a bunny tail. For pile 2, we have the card called the Sun Bear, and we have a daisy. And for pile 3, we have the card called the Elephant, and we have some Jessup. Once you have picked your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye! Okay, hello my pile ones, welcome to your reading. So you chose the card called the Gate, and so straight away to me what this is kind of saying is that whoever this person is that has a crush on you, two things: they see you as something they've never ever seen before, something they've never come across before. It's almost like seeing you has opened their eyes a little bit to how beautiful life can be, and also it almost feels like when they look at you, they see a future where their whole life is different to how they anticipate it going, how they think it's gonna go. It's almost like they see you as almost someone who's on like a completely different timeline to them, or like what's the word? Sort of like you're in one parallel universe, they're in the other. They think there's no way your two worlds could collide, that you could cross paths, that you would even look their way. That's how much they put you on a pedestal. Equally, I also think if you two were to get together, there would be a strong sense of this relationship as one that propels you forward and moves you into a new way of living and being that you've never experienced before. Like a whole new way of experiencing life. I also keep getting this image in my head of I don't know, like a kind of like a beach, but like a pebbly path to the beach, but you're almost it's like there's a clear pebble path, but then around you there's sort of dried grass or dried hay or something, and it leads down into a beach, and there's a boat waiting for you. I don't know why, but that keeps coming into my head when I look at the gate with the bunny tail at the same time. That might be relevant to you, I don't know, but I thought I'd let you know anyway. And let's get into some oracle cards for you about this person so we can learn a little bit more about them. Starting off with, we've got some crystal cards for you. So this can tell us their star sign, things like that. So we have, I am focused, clear and serene with blue fluorite. The number 2, okay, so connection, harmony, definitely we're getting that strong, they're all about you vibe, especially with the I am focused, they're clear on what they want. We have communication, inner peace, amplifying intention, clarifying and focus. Clarity and focus. We have the throat chakra, and we have Capricorn and Pisces. So they could be a Capricorn or a Pisces. That's definitely a possibility. On top of that, I do think that this person is all about you. I'm getting more of a Pisces vibe, because I'm getting a more serious, wanting to settle down, seeing a future with you, being quite a mature person. That's what I'm seeing, especially with all the blue colours that I'm seeing on your cards. I'm getting calm, peaceful, zen, serious person who's serious about their intentions, making it known to you. They definitely want and will. They want to and they will. take action on this crush. Like, they will eventually show themselves. They may have already told you who they are. Like, they may have already come forward, but I think this person is definitely someone who isn't, you know, even if they're really nervous to talk to you, they're not going to let that stand in their way, because they come at it from the mature perspective of, like, you know, like sometimes people say, like, if you have a crush, they'll say things like, oh, just like go and ask them out, and then at least you'll know and you'll have your answer and you can move on and stop, you know, having a crush on them if they say no, or you get what you want and they say yes, kind of thing. That's what a mature person would do. I think a lot of people don't do that, because some people just enjoy the crush phase. They don't really care about anything beyond that. And also some people are like a little bit too afraid or scared to like go up to other people. This person is so mature that they recognize that it is more valuable to just go up and ask and see, even if it hurts. You know what I mean? Even if the rejection hurts. I do think they are going to dream about you and dwell on you first. I do think they are going to think about you a lot, think about how best to approach it, really consider it before they make a move. That doesn't mean they're not going to make a move. They will, but it might just take them a while. Like, I could see them being a dweller for like a year or two. I'm not even joking. Like, I could see them being a long dweller, because they like to think about all the angles, have all the facts, have all the knowledge before they do anything. However, we do have communication, so they do eventually like reach out to you. Let me stop chit-chatting and start shuffling some other cards. But yeah, essentially I think this is a person who makes their intentions really clear with you. They're very focused on you, and they have no problem saying how much they like you with the throat chakra, how much they're into you. I think if they got the chance, they'd probably talk about you all the time. I think when you're not around, they talk about you non-stop. And I also think if you were in a relationship together, or when you are in a relationship together, if this is someone you like, it will be a case of they're constantly affirming how much they like you, they're reassuring, they're always praising you and talking about you in such a positive light. So it will be something like that. So we also have phone. Okay. So that must be how you guys are communicating, or how they find you. So you can read that if you want to, but that's not particularly like the relevant thing. It's more about the symbol of the card. It's really interesting, because I think like it could be a case of they message you. They might see you on like Instagram or something, or Facebook, and friend you or follow you, or TikTok or something like that, and then try and get to know you from there. Or they might ask you out through the phone, either a call, a voicemail, like something like that. And then I also think they look at your socials a lot. It could be that they found you that way, and I am getting that feeling, but I do just think they look at you a lot. That also explains the gate, because it's like a transition, so it's almost like knowing you through the phone is the 2D. You know, they don't really know you. They're seeing a version of you that you're putting out there. And they're fantasizing about what it would be like to actually be in your world, to actually know you. And so if they ever get the chance to know you, if they ever reach out and message you and close that sort of gap, it's almost like they're stepping into this new world of actually being in your world, being in your 3D. And I also think it might have that effect for you. I wonder if this person is someone who it would be quite extraordinary for them to be in your life as well. Like, for example, someone quite unattainable usually, like someone you don't know, who you're like, I would never have crossed paths with this person had they not reached out, that kind of thing. So I can see that. You got 2 cards here. What did you get? Okay, so you have Lotus and Wildflower. So the keywords are purity, resilience, revival, overcoming obstacles through resilience and faith. And then you have unplanned joy, serendipity, remain open to unexpected joy. What was that? You know what? That is basically what I was saying, because you've got that sort of unexpected element. I said it would be quite extraordinary for this person to reach out to you, like quite unexpected. And that's the energy I'm getting. It's almost like this is quite an unexpected match, an unexpected crush. It's not someone that you anticipate having a crush on you. Wildflower is making me think of Wallflower. I wonder if either they are not used to people noticing them, or you're not used to people noticing you, or at least you guys feel that way. You feel almost unnoticed. I feel like it's them because they are the watcher. They are the one looking and spying. So it makes me feel like they are almost unseen and unperceived by you. I don't think you know this person. On top of that, I can see with the sort of like unplanned serendipity joy, it's like not something you anticipate, but it's an incredibly fun relationship for you, an incredibly enjoyable relationship. And I also think this person has a lot of bounce back. You might be someone who rejects them initially or pushes back a lot of the time, where you're sort of like, I'm busy now, or like the timing's not right kind of thing. And maybe there are times where there are pauses or breaks because you're asking for one. But with the sort of resilience, it almost feels like this is someone who can and does show back up in your life time and time again as this foundational, like, secure, solid person. We also have boost your confidence. Yeah, I think like this person, okay, two things. I think this person, one, obviously I sort of said they sing your praises. Like, they are always talking about how amazing you are and how much they like you, and they reaffirm and reassure you. So there's that. So that boosts your confidence. But equally, I think them even being in a relationship with you makes them feel more confident, because they're like, oh my god, I got the person of my dreams. Like, I must be amazing. Like, they kind of get a little bit egotistical if they ever get with you. I think it's because they might put their worth a lot on whether or not you see or look at them. Coincidences. Maybe you're crossing paths organically as well. Or maybe it's like the more you find out about this person and the more they find out about you, it's kind of like, oh, weird. Are we meant to be together? Because it's like there's a lot of synchronicities. There's lots of, oh, I went to that school too when I was, in sixth form or whatever. That's so weird. I never even knew you went. And you went there the same year or something like that. Like something where it's showing up time and time again that you two were weirdly crossing paths and never quite met, and now here you are together, if that makes sense. So there's something about that, but also I think you might run into each other a lot, like beyond the phone, beyond the watching, the messaging. You might actually end up in the same place, same time kind of thing. Okay, let's get, I was gonna say let's get one more, but you got a few, so let's see what these are. So we have the Brawler, lack of empathy and confrontation. And we also have the Enchanter, deception and trickery. Wow, okay. So I think two things. I don't think this person has, I don't think they have good charisma, which might sound counterintuitive to the Enchanter card. But the reason I'm saying that is because I think mixed with the Brawler card, they kind of are a little bit like they make mistakes a lot with what they're trying to say. They're clumsy with it almost versus what they're intending to say. And it might come across untrustworthy or like they lack emotional capacity, which isn't true. But I think it's a case of like people just say things differently, like to others, like rather than sort of, let's say being tactful and trying to play the long game. They might be someone who walks like after that 1 to 2 years of like fantasizing, they're finally like, fuck it, I need to do something about this. And they kind of march up to you and they're like, do you want to date me or not? Like, it's kind of like quite, they almost throw you into the cold water straight away, no warming up or nothing. And you're like, what? Who are you? Where did you come from? Like, a hello would be nice. What's your name? Like, it's almost like very forward in a sense, and that puts you off because you're like, well, what's the intention here in a sense? But equally, I think you begin to recognise the more you talk to them that it's coming from a place of just burning, pining, perishing, desperately wanting an answer, wanting to know. And I think you find their awkwardness endearing, like their awkward charisma. They're not very good charisma. I think you find it endearing. I also think this person would do anything for you. And the reason I think that is because I'm seeing like the bandaging of the hands, getting ready to fight, and then over here I'm literally seeing a hand worn down until it's like a skeleton. Like, I think they would be willing to do anything, go to any lengths to protect you and be there for you and defend you, and also defend their feelings for you as well. Like if people are maybe trying to talk them out of it at any point in time, they constantly reaffirm that you're the one. If people try and ask them out while you're together, again, they constantly reaffirm you're the one. So like, you know, nothing else can kind of get in your way. It feels like they're ready to fight the fights of like everyday issues, literally until there's none left to fight. Like any sort of arguments or disputes you have, they're willing to resolve it and find a workaround and communicate until it's fixed, because they want it fixed. Like this is a very resilient person who constantly works on trying to improve this connection, if given the chance. Because again, this is about a crush, not a relationship, but I'm just saying this is what they would be like, okay? Okay, so let's get some tarot cards about them as well. We have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups. What do you have here? You've got a few. So you've got the High Priestess. You have the Queen of Cups. You have the Eight of Arrows. You have the Seven of Arrows as well. Yeah, they're very in tune with you. I think it's quite weird. You guys do have some sort of divine connection, because with the phone, there was a mention of there being some sort of emergency right there, or some sort of accident that sort of enables you to cross paths. Then we also had coincidences. Is that what we had? Where was it? Yeah, they're coincidences. Which again, it feels like there's this mysterious crossing of paths, things aligning, things working out. We've got the two again. So there's some sort of divine connection between the two of you, and it feels intuitive. So you might actually get a feeling, like when you meet this person, because they might not necessarily tell you they have a crush on you straight away, but when you do meet this person or hear from this person, you might have a feeling that they do, or a feeling that there's just something about them and maybe they're the one. I feel like they are definitely a catch with the Six of Wands here. Like they are someone, and the Eight of Wands, they are someone who is definitely honourable in relation to you, especially with the Eight of Arrows, because it's Eight of Cups, because it's like they're someone who has integrity. They're someone who's willing to do the right thing, walk away from what doesn't serve them. And so the fact that they're pursuing you shows that, one, they truly believe you are the right fit for them, that you have all the cups they're looking for. But two, I think they would do anything to make sure that this works out. So really honourable intentions. I think they don't really know how to act around you, because they're kind of, as I said, they don't have good charisma. And again, they're half this fantasy person where they're like daydreaming and stuff, and then half this person who wants to just know and wants to just take action. So they feel a little bit lost sometimes. And I think that might confuse you at times, because it's like you're not really sure. Like 1 minute they're not talking to you for a month, because again, they've gone back to fantasy land and they're too afraid and shy to come up to you. And then they might message you once and be like, hey, like, how you doing? How's it going? What are you doing tonight? Like messaging you out of the blue, very unexpected, and you're kind of like, what are they doing? And it kind of just throws you off, because you're like, what's happening? Like, because their communication almost feels, in a sense, like it comes in and out because of their constant fear and back and forth of like, okay, I'm just going to do it, I'm just going to message you. And then they're like, oh my god, why did I do that? And then they have to not look at their phone for a while because they're panicking. It's something like that. They're definitely someone who, they perceive every time they reach out, almost like that they perceive it as like they've made a move and they've been rejected because it hasn't reaped the outcome they were looking for. Even though that's not the case, like they might just message you hi, and you're like, hi back, you know? And they are like, okay, so that didn't work because we're not together. How did that not work? How did you not swoon? Because they don't know how to navigate it into asking you out in a way where it feels like non-nerve-wracking. And so every single attempt to message you feels like a perceived rejection, in a sense. I do think, as I said, they've got that resilience. They do keep coming back, but they are very unsure of how to act in this situation because they don't want to confirm a solid no, because they can't handle that reality. So that's something I can see about them. Let's see if we can get any other messages. Unfazed, okay. Then we also have, I was definitely getting that. Comic friends. Can't fully trust them. Tension, secrets, competition. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I've never had a karmic friend card. Okay. So these cards that I've just pulled are more so around how you're going to kind of get to know them or how you're going to kind of come across them. So I find this really interesting. First of all, it could be a case of you might know this person as a friend before you know them as anything else. On top of that, I don't think you're too bothered initially, especially with this person not making it clear that they even have a crush on you. It might be very unclear to you that that's even what they're doing. And so I don't think initially you see that. I also think because, as I said, they kind of just come up to you very expectant of like you to resolve the fact that they've been fantasizing about you for a year or 2 years, almost like it's your responsibility to resolve that for them. It almost to you feels like an immediate like no, because you're like, this isn't the person for me, because it feels like they are quite pushy when actually they are just a bad communicator. But I think you'll figure that out the more you talk to them anyway. But that is almost where I'm seeing this kind of coming in, getting rejected, coming from. Because it's like until they figure it out, how to act right from their feelings, it's not going to work. I also think this person is very obsessed with you. Like when we see these sort of keywords here, these bad habits and things, it's almost like you to them are something they can't pull away from and they find hard to pull away from. Like even just the thought of you, like they're trying to be like, okay, I'm not going to think about you today because it's too much. This crush is too big. I need to forget about it. But it's almost like they can't resist the idea of you and they keep thinking about you and they keep falling into the crush again and again, no matter how hard they try to come out of it. On top of that, I think they're trying to impress you by being somebody they're not initially. And I think you find that off-putting. I wonder even if that's where the lack of empathy energy is coming from, or even the confrontation, because I wonder if you can pick up on the fact that they're not being who they are, which is making you sort of be like, I'm not interested until you're ready to be who you are. And in a sense, it comes across disingenuine, it comes across like their feelings aren't true, even though this isn't the case. And it comes across like their intentions aren't good if they're trying to start this off on a lie of like who they are. But I think they're trying to impress you based on what they perceive you to want. Because, as I said, they probably watch you through social media first before they even meet you. And they're basing who you might like off of your friend list, off of the videos you like, off of the things you repost or share. They're basing it off of their perceived idea of what they think you want. And they're kind of creating this image around them of that. And in a sense, it puts you off because you can tell that that's just not them. It's just not who they are. And I think it leads to eventually a confrontation of sorts, a calling out, which may make them return as the person they actually are, then making you feel more comfortable. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for you, pile 1. Good luck in finding who your crush is. Wishing you all the success with that. And hopefully it all goes well. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, comment and subscribe, and if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays or Thursdays for another tarot reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye guys! Okay, hello my pile 2s, welcome to your reading. So you chose the daisy, and you also chose the sun bear. So essentially what I'm getting straight away with the sun bear is that this is someone who usually gets what they want. They're very successful. They have no problems getting who they want. I don't think they're shy. I don't think they think you're going to say no. I think they're very confident, very assured of themselves, very cocky. But what they lack in humility, what they lack in modesty and in being humble, they very much make up for in loyalty, in protection, in commitment, and in seriousness. So what they're kind of failing to be in terms of that kind of humility, they definitely make up for. And I do think they are going to be successful with you. But let's see. Okay. So we have Lepidolite. I am emotionally balanced and filled with inner peace, and the number 8. We also have Libra. Okay, they're a Libra. They're a Libra. We appreciate that. We like that. We've got balance, awareness, transition, the heart chakra, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. Yeah, they love you fully. Like, they are fully into you. I wonder if this is someone you've known for a while. Because it feels like the love there, or the connection, is quite powerful or potent, but that could just be because they are a Libra. But on top of that, I think this is someone who evens you out. Like, they are your complete, almost opposite in a sense. So that's something I'm seeing for you. It's like if you're quite loud and out there and, you know, whatever, they're very like subdued and like quiet and chill and calm and mellow, or vice versa. Like, you're the complete opposites of each other. Equally, I think they're in complete balance with themselves, their thoughts, their heart, you know, their feelings. Everything is aligned. Everything. They not only do they like you in terms of like they fancy you, their feelings for you, but also in terms of their thoughts, that they see you as a good option. They're like, yeah, this is someone I like. This is someone I could see myself with. They're very aligned about their feelings for you. Ooh, strangers. Stranger danger. No, I'm joking. Stranger. So you don't know this person. Okay. I was getting that they knew you. I wonder if it's kind of a situation of they've seen you around in life, but never met you, if that makes sense. Never had a conversation with you. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these cards. So first of all, we have the Spy Master, Knowledge and Distrust. Okay, first of all, this person will be serenading you. They will be giving you gifts. They will be trying to woo you. They will be trying to impress you. They'll be bringing you things they think you'll like and you'll appreciate and you'll value. It won't just be things that they're throwing at you, like, you know, money or whatever. They'll be giving you exactly what you want. So if you're someone who really specifically, I don't know, likes a type of vanilla ice cream from a specific shop, they'll bring it to you. Like, they will bring you what they think you want in order to try and impress you. They will definitely try to impress you with their talents, I think, because as I said, they're confident. I think they think they're amazing. And they're like, listen to how good I can sing this song. Watch how good my dance is. Okay, no, look at how good I can do a backflip. Like, they're always trying to impress you with shit that you might not necessarily be impressed by. But they are trying to impress you, okay? That's the end goal of it. It might feel very like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? But it's to try and get your attention. They want you to look at them, and they might try and get your attention in obnoxious ways. Like, you know, when like people fancy you and then they'll like try and cough really loudly to get your attention, or like say something really funny very loudly while looking at you the whole time and you're not in the conversation. It's like they'll do things like that where you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, but it's because they want your attention. We also have fruit, abundance, enjoyment, ripening, indulge in the sweet, juicy side of life. Okay, bitch. All right. So first of all, they down bad for you. I think that's obvious. I think they be fantasizing about everything they could do to you. Everything they could give you, and they're like, trust me, trust the process, I can give it to you good. Like, I think they have a big talk, but they can follow it up. I think they might promise lots of things, but they can absolutely deliver on what they're promising. Like, it might seem like, nah, there's no way, but they definitely follow through on everything. And you might think, yeah, like they'll do that, or as if that will ever happen, and then it does end up happening. So I think this person has a big talk, but has a lot of game to back it up. I also think they're very, very sexually attracted to you as well. So strangers is interesting. So this definitely could be a stranger to you, someone you've never met before. I can see the word estranged in there. Maybe this is someone you once knew, or once knew briefly, that maybe fell out of your life and is returning. It could also be a complete stranger. They may also turn up in your dreams first before you meet them, and then you see them in real life and you're like, oh my god, bitch, that's the motherfucker I've been dreaming about. Like, it might be one of those situations. But then also, I think it's a case of like, this person, you might initially almost not trust them. Like, you know how I sort of said stranger danger as a joke before? It is kind of like that. Like, I think initially you're like, absolutely not. Like, just because you don't know them, you don't trust them, you don't, you know, it takes a while. You got to know who they are, you know what I mean? So initially I think there's a sense of mistrust there, but you definitely warm up to them and they quickly become like someone familiar, a familiar face who you feel comfortable around. But it says worthy of a warm welcome. So you're definitely being urged to warmly embrace this person. However, go with your feelings. If in the moment you're like, absolutely not, and you don't trust or know or like this person, follow that. However, we are just also getting eventually that there's a push to give a warm welcome. Meditation. There's lots of like peace around this connection. I feel like they would make you feel very safe and content, and like nothing could get in between the two of you. You're very safe, very secure in this relationship. There's lots of loyalty, no sort of messing around. I also think you bring a sense of peace to them when you're around, especially if they are the loud person and you are the quiet person. I think you bring a lot of them for them. Like, they realize they can chill out and be a little bit quieter and a bit more mellow and a little bit more introverted, but in a extroverted way with you, if that makes sense. Like, they realize they can calm down and not perform as much when they're around you, because you kind of accept them for who they are. But this could also be someone who is into meditative practices, meditation, yoga, things like that. Like, they like that sort of Zen element, especially with the pose here as well. They might be someone who is quite athletic, maybe they go to the gym a lot, but specifically to do things like yoga, meditation, that sort of thing. Like, they go there, they do classes, that kind of thing. Yeah, even here, with lemon balm, seek emotional healing. This does feel like a healing, peaceful, calm Zen person. They might heal something within you, their sort of crush, and then pursuing you in such a dedicated and devoted way, and in a way that is so specific to you, might heal a part of yourself where you thought you couldn't get that. It could also be a case of, if you do get with them, this would be a very healing relationship, a very healing connection. I think they have the key to your heart as well. I think they know how to break down your walls and kind of like have you accept them and trust them. Even if they're not actually aware of it, they do have that key. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Arrows, the Devil in reverse, like both in reverse, and the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. We have the Page of Wands. Why is that song in my head? You know the song like, is it like Take On Me or Take Me On or something? I don't know what it is. It was a song from back in the day. We have the Empress in reverse. And he's kind of like I don't know, like a cartoon or a digital character or a drawing or something. And he comes to life for like a day or two or something. And they have a magical love whirlwind affair and then he goes away. Okay, we have the Three of Arrows and Temperance. For some reason, that song's in my head. Okay. They definitely heal you. There is a healing element here. Because we had the healing card. We've got the Three of Arrows next to Temperance. There's definitely a sense of this person balances you out and heals what what was once broken. I also think you feel like with this person, your luck is changing almost, and I think they feel very lucky to be around you. And I also think there's a sense of they help you break free of something. It could be a mindset that you have about yourself and love, or something other people have made you feel about yourself from the way that they've treated you in the past. It could be like some sort of projection. It could be a sense of not feeling like this person or other people would like you. It's like something like that. They're fixing some sort of insecurity, some sort of toxic self-belief within you in the way that they're treating you. Because they're treating you so well, it helps to actually fix that. And that's not to say that like you need to be in a relationship and be treated a certain way in order to fix, you know, what's going on internally and fix your feelings and things. It's more so a case of sometimes it can just help to have, you know, a friend or a family member or a partner treat you in a way that you are meant to be treated in order to open your eyes to the fact that there is nothing wrong with you, and any sort of bad way you've been treated in the past was to do with that person who treated you that way and not to do with you. So I think they help you see that. They help you see your worth and your value and how special you are, and to embrace who you are and your individuality and release the things that have been weighing on you. Equally, I think they help you step into your queen energy, which you feel out of place with at the minute, but it's almost like how much they're praising you and how well they're treating you and how they're pursuing you, specifically in a way where they're listening to you and delivering on what you're wanting or asking for, is helping you to realign with this sense of inner worth, inner value, making you realise who you are, making you realise that you're beautiful. I think, especially with the Empress there, that might be something you've lost sight of, or you had lost sight of for a while, and they're helping to realign you with that feeling. They're helping you to feel that way again and see yourself in that way again. Even if nothing comes of this crush, even if the only thing that sort of happens is that they kind of do pursue you in this really devoted, special way, that's healing in and of itself, to the point that even that alone kind of boosts your energy back up. It feels like you're starting again. You're beginning to feel inspired again by life, and it almost feels like with them you could have a nice fresh start, a new start where it's almost like you're borrowing some of their sunny success, sunshine energy vibes. You're almost borrowing a little bit of it, and it's almost transferring to you because you're being around this person who has such great energy and such good vibes. It's almost like they pass it off to you a little bit as well and help to make you feel lucky and successful and confident just like they do. So let's pull some more cards. These are like more so about like how you'll meet, like the energy around that, if that makes sense. Oh, what's this one? Why are we getting this Zen energy again? They must be like really into that. Okay. Okay. Wait, that was in reverse when I pulled that out. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we've got unbothered, we've got bankrupt in reverse, we've got reflecting with someone again in this sort of like Zen meditation yoga pose. We have an offer and we have clout hungry. Says anything, does anything, makes shit up, and dramatic. So what I'm seeing is that almost in a sense, your initial thoughts of them is that this person is just doing the most to try and impress you, but they're not necessarily being authentic to themselves. And so every offer they make, every chance they get to kind of pursue you, you're just unbothered. You're not really fazed by them initially. I think especially it's like, because they are so confident and so like, I know I'm going to get this person, and they're kind of, it almost doesn't reassure you that they have true feelings for you or that their feelings are serious, because you would expect someone who's serious to be a little bit nervous to ask you out because there's a lot riding on it. You know, there's a lot of weight and pressure around that. But it's not, their confidence isn't a testament to how much or how little they like you. It's a testament to how secure emotionally and intellectually they are within themselves. They know their own worth. They know they're valuable. They know they're special. and they know they've got a lot to give, so they're not intimidated in situations like this. Not because they don't like you, but because they like themselves enough, if that makes sense. So initially, the sort of constant pursuing of you in a almost arrogant way is kind of off-putting to you. However, what Libras do very well, and what they're able to do very well, is recognize your feelings and attune to that, and not necessarily switch up like in a manipulative or false way, like they are being who they are, but I think they realize they need to like slow it down with you and meet you where you're at. Like if you're like an introvert, they'll calm down a little bit and stop kind of being so in your face or overbearing or too much, and they'll start showing you some of their inner traits, inner qualities that you might find more value in. Again, tuning in and listening to what you want and pursuing you in that way really specifically is something that they are really good at, which is what they focus on the most when they're trying to pursue you. And eventually you start to see that there is a lot of value not only to this person, but they also help you to see that within yourself as well. They help to flip that sense of, inner bankruptcy, that inner lacking. They help to flip that for you, but also in sort of attuning, reflecting and being calm around you and offering specifically what you're looking for, they help to open your eyes to see them as someone who is as valuable as they say they are, is as, special as they say they are. You're starting to see it, if that makes sense. So I think this is someone who works gradually with you to get to a place where you can see them for who they are, you can see yourself for who you are, and you appreciate what they're offering and you like it and are receptive to it. But I think it takes a bit of warming up, because I think they're initially quite egotistical and arrogant, and that's just not your vibe. But I think they slow it down, and I think you start to see through the bravado as well. I think you see the nervous person they are, or they're not nervous though, but the kind of the weight to the situation, how much they genuinely like you and are serious about you. You start to see that beneath the surface as you get to know them. So that is what I see for you, Pole 2. I hope this helped you to sort of see who this crush is. So keep us updated, let us know, check back in. If you figure out who this is, you go ahead, you tell us. I do want to add that I think they move fast. I don't think they're someone who would like have a crush on you, dwell on it for a year or two, then make a move. I think they see you, they want you, they're going for it. Okay. That being said, if they are someone estranged from you, they may have liked you at that point, but not necessarily realised it, not necessarily acted on it, and now you're in different phases in life and they feel more confident and more so like someone who could do that. And so when they see you again, they're like, oh yeah, let me not let this opportunity pass me by. It kind of reminds me of the vibe of like, I don't know if any of you know her, you should do, but Drew Afualo, her partner was basically like, essentially if he didn't ask her out, he knew he was going to regret it for like the rest of his life. Like he knew there was some sort of connection there and he didn't want to let it go. So he asked her out. And again, she was off put by him initially because he was very like athletic, egotistical, that kind of vibe. This is the vibe of this person. This is the exact same energy that I'm sort of seeing here. Almost that exact same scenario as well. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole of their sort of relationship and connection, because I think that might help to show you what I'm talking about. But that's essentially what I'm seeing. This is someone who will act and who will also balance you out really well and treat you right. And, show you what you're worth, which is a lot. And also show their own worth in how they're sort of treating you, basically. They're showing how valuable they can be by how right they are for you. So that is what I see for you, Pole 2. As I said, let us know if you find out who this is. If they come forward, keep us updated. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesday or Thursday for another tarot reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye guys! Okay, hello my pile 3s, welcome to your reading. So you chose the elephant and also the jessup, which I'll place over here. So the first thing I want to say is with the elephant, what I'm seeing is that this is, of course, a family-oriented, loyal, strong person. This is someone who doesn't back down from fights, who isn't intimidated by bullies. You know, they stand up for themselves, they stand up for others. They're a very just person. They're motivated by justice. They are strong, powerful, loyal. They might physically be quite tall as well, like physically be quite towering. I also think they have like a regal, impressive, almost intimidating energy a little bit because of how integral they are. Like, they are just a very moral person, and it's almost quite intimidating to be around someone like that. Like, very, very, no offense, but superior to most people. Like, that's the vibe that I'm seeing. They're quite special. Okay, so let's get some wildflower. Oh, pole 1 also had this. So we have unplanned joy, serendipity, remain open to unexpected joy. So that's really interesting that you got that. If you were drawn to pile, why do I want to get 2? I'm going to get 2. If you were drawn to pile 1, absolutely go check it out. But immediately 2 things are sort of coming to me, because wildflower in pile 1 reminded me of the word wallflower. So it makes me feel like that either they make you feel seen in a way that you've never been made to feel before. Okay, we've got a few. Or, yeah, they're definitely making you feel seen. Okay. Or, not or, and they might be someone who themselves goes unnoticed by you initially, like not someone you notice straight away. I also think you meet them spontaneously. Oh my gosh. Okay, no, you might meet them in your dreams first and then spontaneously. You might have dreams about them before you meet them. It could be a case of you are their dream come true and you're theirs and they're yours, if that makes sense. Both very dreamy to each other. But yeah, they dream about you, they fantasize about you, they feel a little bit unseen or unnoticed by you a tiny bit. But I think the way that you interact will be very spontaneous, very spur of the moment. Yeah, very unplanned, as we have there. And it will just be like a random sort of interaction, but there is definitely strong feelings straight away there. This card also fell out. And let's pull, oh, one more spider. We've had such interesting imagery in your pile already, like I can just tell from what I've seen so far. Okay, so we've got spider, be creative. I find that very interesting. This is someone who wants to build a future with you. I think they are definitely family oriented, but of course spiders are nature's architects. They want to build a foundation with you. They want to build a home. Like, they see a future with you, a serious connection, a committed connection with you. This is also someone who fantasizes a lot and thinks a lot about what you could be, the potential there with the creativity. We have Jade. We have, I recognize all forms of pure abundance and harmony. We have the number 9. We have stability, prosperity, and longevity. Are you joking? We have the heart chakra, and we have Aries and Pisces. So they could be an Aries or a Pisces, 2 very different energies. So they could be someone who's more of that like strong leader energy, or someone who's more dreamy. I think because we did have the dream card, they are probably a Pisces. And also the sort of fantasizing energy there with the spider, wanting to build a home, settle down. There's a very serious energy to them. So they could be a Pisces. But that being said, no hate, no shade, no tea to my fellow Aries out there. You know, we're committed. We're good folk. Okay, so there's no shade to the Aries. I'm just saying. The Pisces are known for that. Okay, so we've got Jade. They might have a quite a peculiar name. Quite an interesting name. That kind of one you've never heard of before. I think I've only ever known 3 names before where I've only met someone with that name once in my whole life. It's very rare, but I think they'll probably have a name you've never heard of before. I also think they're definitely born the same year as you. They're the exact same age as you. When we have stability, prosperity, longevity, that is the connection they envisage for you both. They see your connection, if it could flourish beyond their crush, as something that can be stable, prosperous, and go the mile, go the distance. They feel everything they feel for you with their heart. That's 100% of where it's coming from. It's not like they also like are thinking about how it's going to work practically. They're solely going at it from heart motivation, which might be why we're getting that Aries element, because it's almost impulsive in a sense. We do have dreams here, so I think you are almost like a dream come true to them, a very dreamy person. I also think you might have dreams about them before you meet them. I think their crush on you might be that powerful that it ends up infiltrating your dreams. That can happen, like if someone thinks about you hard enough, like you will have dreams about them, or vice versa. Okay, we have hematite, the number 9 again. Okay, bitch, I'm gonna have to look up the number 9 for you, because why are we getting 9s constantly? So we have hematite, we've got Aries again. Okay, they're in Aries. We've also got Aquarius. I detoxify and transmute stress into balance and harmony. That's interesting. They don't worry too much. Like, if they do worry, they can quickly overcome it because they realise life is worth living, not stressing over. So I think they can be very zen. I think they can also balance you out a bit. So we've got grounding, balancing, detoxifying. This is someone who will make you feel really stable, who also is your complete opposite. And also helps to kind of improve your perception of relationships, or how these relationships can be, because we've got the toxicity there, sort of the detoxifying of the toxicity. If you've had any bad experiences in the past with other relationships, they are very healing from that experience. I think they can fix any sort of issues you have, or like trauma you have, because it's almost like with how good they are, they make you see the world differently. We have absorbs negative energy. Yeah, they take it away. I think they completely remove any sort of past terrible experiences you've had with romance. They can remove that sort of the weight of that's around you. We also have willpower. We have the root chakra. Okay. And then, Aquarius and Aries. Okay, so willpower is interesting because elephants are very strong. So this is someone who's very determined to be with you. That's coming across clearly. I think they would pursue you. Not necessarily in a in an aggressive way. Like, I don't think they are quite like pile 2's person. But I think they pursue you in a way where it's like they are determined to eventually make this work, not in an overwhelming way. In a very zen way, not in like a here's this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. It's not overwhelming at all. It's very calm, it's very slow, but there is strength there. There's longevity. Also, you have root chakra, so the sex is crazy, bitch. First of all, that's something that's coming through. Not crazy in like a bad way, but in a good way. Okay. So that's what I'm getting. What they lack in intense energy day to day, they make up for. Let me tell you. Okay. Also, let me look up the number 9, because we need to know this. We need the details. Oh, number 9. Love is coming your way. Someone new is entering your life. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay. So, definitely someone new then. So we've got that detail. And they're coming in. They're coming in soon and swift. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at some of the other cards then. So we have Snake here. So definitely a healing person. Definitely someone who helps you shed the old way of you, your old way of being or thinking about yourself, old toxic habits. They help you feel refreshed and renewed almost. Okay. So we have the Adventurer here with responsibility and expectations in reverse. I think you feel like you almost don't have to do anything or take care of anything. Like it will be taken care of for you, because they want to look out for you in that way. They want to eliminate any stress, any toxicity that may be, around you. They want to eliminate that for you. We have the Priest, perseverance and faith. Yeah, this person does make you feel seen, but also very worshipped. Like, they are obsessed with you. You are their everything. And they make that clear. this is definitely someone divinely connected to you, someone you were meant to be with, someone who they are your other person. As I said, they balance you out. I think this is your soulmate, to be honest. This next person that has a crush on you. We have self-protection and dual nature as well. Yeah, their interest... Keep on. You coming to tell people that this is the right crush for them? Yeah. Yeah. You're so sweet. You're so sweet, my little Pookie. Little Pookie bear. Yeah, they're your other person. They make you feel whole and complete. And also, protecting you is like protecting them. It's in their best interest because you're their everything, if that makes sense. So, like, your relationship would never be under fire. There would never be someone who could come between you because they view what you have as the thing that sustains them. So why would they ever jeopardize that, you know? So this is a very committed, loyal person. Everyone has been so far. In pile 1, 2, and 3, all very loyal and committed energies coming through. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to say on the root chakra thing with the spider. Spiders, weird fact, there's like a type of spider. It's the only other species in the world that has like fellatio cunnilingus are spiders. So there's definitely a strong sense of like having a great sex life with this person, because the only sort of two species who experiment in that way are humans and certain types of spiders. And you've got a spider card in your reading. Okay, so let's get some tarot cards next. And your pile got blessed by Kit as well. So we have the Magician. I definitely think they think it's going to take a lot of, you know, luck to sort of get you. At the same time, they don't need luck, because I think they're a very valuable, special person anyway. They might feel like they need luck because they're quite intimidated by you, but they don't need it. You know, they are a really good catch. Okay. So, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 10 of Wands in reverse. We have the 8 of Pentacles, the Emperor in reverse, and the Magician in reverse. Yeah, as I said, they think it's going to take some sort of spell or something to get you to like them. But that's really not needed. They have everything they need for you to like them. They are, in your eyes, a fully rounded, like, perfect version of who you want, who you're looking for. They cover everything. Like, everything you're looking for in an ideal person, they have. Equally, I think with the Emperor in reverse like that, they aren't like, you know, trying to be like the leader or like, you know, the one in charge of the relationship, or like, I have this role, you have this role. They want an equal footing. By equal, I actually more so mean like equitable. Like, I think they're trying to balance out the scale in terms of what you're owed, and also be like a partner, not be, you know, a tyrant. They want your opinion, they want to give theirs, and they want you know, mutual respect and decisions to be made between the both of you. Equally, I think they work really hard to lay down the foundations of this relationship and keep everything going smoothly. They put a lot of work into it. They never want you to feel overburdened, and so they will always carry more than they should, because they want you to feel like you have nothing to worry about with them, that you'll never be doing too much in the relationship or feeling burnt out. They want to make sure you don't feel that way. I also think, yes, they want to lay down a foundation with you. Yes, they want a home and a family with you. But it might be in an unconventional sense. Like, they might want to be with you forever with your pet dogs as your babies, or your pet cats as your babies, you know? They want something untraditional with you, but still very committed and long term. So it might not look like the traditional route, but they still want that solid foundation of you and me forever. That's never changing. Like, that's what they want. So let's see then. We can ask more now about like sort of like how you guys are gonna meet, that kind of thing. We have marrying for money in reverse. Okay, interesting. we have Played Out. These weren't your cards, and I knew straight away, but I will put them in anyway because they did come out. And let's do... Oh, I was going to say let's do one more, but we've got a few, so we'll take them. Okay. So firstly, we have Marrying for Money in reverse. We have Played Out. We have Spiritual Hater, hates on your spirituality, light, magic, power. We have Moves in Silence in reverse. We have Fake Accounts in reverse with like fake social media, accounts to spy, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. We have Threatening with Intimidating, Threatened, Bothered, and we have, but that's in reverse. We have Bad Karma in reverse. We have Ego, Hurt Ego, Ego getting in the way of relationship, etc. They're very open about wanting you, but there's an element of you not necessarily trusting them, maybe because of bad experiences in the past, and you're just kind of done and over it and don't want to date almost. You kind of, in a sense, reject what they're bringing, reject their energy, reject how well they want to treat you or what they're offering, because you almost don't believe it in a sense, because you feel so pushed around and sort of beaten down by your dating experiences. And in a sense, I think that's why we're getting the Ego card with the Bad Karma in reverse. It's like you think this is bad karma coming back around to bite you in the ass, just in a different format, when actually that's the ego talking, the wounded part of yourself, the unhealed version of yourself. It's not necessarily the truth. But I think they help to work down your defenses because they are so open about how much they like you. I think they work down your defenses a little bit and make you feel a little bit more safe and like this is someone you could love long term. Equally, I think you're quite clear from the start, as are they, about their intentions. Like, I don't think either of you look too favourably on marriage. I think you think it's like, there's no romance in it, there's no love in it. It really is just a contract that exchanges a person for money, really. That truly is what it is, and that's how you see it. And I think you both are in agreement on that and very loud and open about that from the beginning. Equally, one or two of you is a little bit of a stalker, okay, with the fake accounts. It could be you trying to figure out, because you feel threatened by their positive energy towards you and you feel mistrustful, you might be doing some snooping to figure out, okay, what is their deal? What's their history? What's their dirt? Let me figure it out. Equally, because you're almost so unattainable, because you are threatened by them and pushing them away and you feel played out and your ego is motivating you to kind of hate them. They might feel like they have to look at your socials and sort of spy and creep around just in order to figure out who the hell you are and figure out how to infiltrate, okay? Because you're just like not an open book initially. So I think the start to this is very rocky in terms of you might have a lot of mistrust. They're being very open about how much they like you, which in a weird sense kind of pushes you back into your shell more because you don't trust it. You feel very threatened, and there's lots of looking at each other from a distance, lots of spying, lots of intrigue, and not lots of action. But eventually, I think the turtle wins the race, or the snail wins the race. There is a slow movement and positive progress in this connection. So that is what I see for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays or Thursdays for another tarot reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye!